We start down at Delaware Park with the Grade 3 Delaware Oaks. And it is the 3-year-old fillies at 1 mile at 1/16. They're running for a purse of $300,000. Now, Dick, Jaywalk is in here. It's not a big field.
Right.
But I have to say I was surprised she was not the favorite. The favorite here is number 4, Fashion Faux Pas, who gets bet down to 4-5 for trainer Arno Delacour. And as I look at her lines, Dick, that favoritism and the price is all about that last race.
Well, there's no question. That was the one race in her life where she could beat Jaywalk. The other ones, even when Jaywalk isn't at her best, she wouldn't be able to beat her. But that was a 97 buyer in the lighthearted. She won by 14.5 lengths. That's why she's favored. Plus, Jaywalk hasn't won this year and doesn't look on paper like the same filly we saw last year.
Now, Dick, G is 7-5. Jaywalk, she's made 3 starts this year, and after that championship season of last season, as we have seen early in the year, she was just not the same horse.
Yeah, she just didn't have that same punch. She didn't have that same early speed, but John Servis got her back here to Parks after the Kentucky Oaks, and of course it was out of Parks where she was running all those great races last year, changed her training routine, blinkers on, she looks like the lone speed. We'll see if she can run a little better.
New pilot here, Joe Bravo aboard. Let's go to Delaware Park. Here's the Delaware Oaks.
Jaywalk well in hand by Joe Bravo, leads it by a length. Got to be strong, moves up on the inside. Fashion Faux Pas up there on the outside. Uj is right there in 4th. Then comes Avelina edging a bit closer, and the Fleet Destiny the trailer as they race around the first turn. And Jaywalk's had it all her own way so far. Opening quarter in 24 seconds flat. Couldn't be any nicer for her. Jaywalk leads it by a length. Fashion Faux Pas racing second with Got to be strong toward the inside. Avelina's caught 3 wide down the backside. Uj in between horses, and the Fleet Destiny continues the trail as they move down the Delaware backstretch. Jaywalk still under a firm hold by Joe Bravo. Going along nicely on the front end by 2 lengths over Fashion Faux Pas. Got to be strong next in line. Avelina's trying to move up 3 wide. Uj between horses, and the Fleet Destiny continues the trail. After a half in, 47-3. They race into the turn, and Jaywalk on the front end. Leads it by a length and a quarter. Fashion Faux Pas, only threat right now. 4 lengths further back. Avelina's trying to rally in 3rd. Uj next in line. Got to be strong, and the Fleet Destiny. Right now it's a 2-horse affair, and Jaywalk continues strong on the front end. It appears. Fashion Faux Pas is digging in, trying to go by. 5 lengths further back to Avelina as they turn for home. They've got Jaywalk to catch. The 6 in 109-1, and Jaywalk is still running a good race. Fashion Faux Pas tried to make that run but couldn't go by her. Far back to Avelina, and Jaywalk, she is back it appears. Jaywalk is drawing away down the lane. Jaywalk returns to her 2-year-old form and an impressive win.
Well, Dick, this was the Jaywalk we have been waiting to see all season. She breaks alertly, jumps out on top, and is just on cruise control the whole way. Fashion Faux Pas tried to run at her at the top of the stretch, but she just shrugged that off and then drew off to win by 9, pays $4.80 to win. And Dick, my question to you is Jaywalk back?
Yeah, she is. If you superimpose this race on top of last year's Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies, it's the same race.
Yeah.
That just happened to be at Churchill. This was at Delaware Park. She was great. She crushed them. 96 buyer. The goal now is the cotillion here, and maybe the Monmouth Oaks in between. John will get here at the cotillion, and I know he'd love to win it here at his home track.
Well, man, Bruce Casella had a chance to catch up with John and not only talk about his victory in the Delaware Oaks, but we'll talk about it when we come back. He had a big victory in the Doc Penny as well. Here's more with John.
Great performance. I was tickled to death. You know, we were hoping to get back to that. Didn't know if we would or not, and now that we did, I think everybody's happy.
You had a switch with blinkers on.
We put the blinkers on her, put a little bit more speed in her, and I think it did. I don't know how much that helped her, but switching up her training, we kind of went back to last year's schedule and you know, less works and more 2-minute licks, that kind of thing. You know, she's not a big filly, so she doesn't need a whole lot, and she responded to it great.
Did she mature a lot since the last race?
I don't think so, no. She really hasn't. You know, she's continuing to mature slowly, not a lot. She's put on a little bit of weight. You know, she's not a great big strapping filly, but I think more than anything, just switching up her training. She was really happy going into the race, and I think that's what did it.
What's next for her?
Not sure. You know, it looks like we're not going to get back in here till the 14th. So that's only going to be a week. That shouldn't really set her back because, like I said, she's got such a small frame anyway. If everything goes well and she's doing good, we'll probably look at the Monmouth Oaks, try to give her, you know, an easier spot heading into the cotillion. I'd love to see her going into the cotillion off of 2 wins.
Let's talk about the Doc Penny now with a horse that's really hard to pronounce. Tell me about that race.
Not a Prada Price. Well, Not a Proud of Price got her name from my wife, actually. She was a filly that we had on our short list as a yearling, and we were finished and had left the sale. And my partner, the short list with me, Jim McGreevy, he called me afterwards and said, you know, the filly, the Patio Prado filly that we had on our short list never sold. And I said, oh, wow, that's what was she RNA'd for? He said 14,000. I said, you got to be kidding me. So, make a long story short, we bought her for 15,000, and my wife decided to name her Not a Proud of Price. So she's been a really hard knocking filly for us. She tries hard all the time, and we really put her in there hoping that maybe we could hit the board and get some graded black type on her. And she ran lights out. I mean, she hadn't run in like 3 months. She was sharp and happy going into the race, and held off a pretty nice horse through the stretch. I mean, we were tickled to death. The mainline guys are ecstatic.
It's nice when you get those surprises, isn't it?
It sure is. It sure is. Made for a real good week, I can tell you that.
Anything else on the horizon that you'd like to talk about? I saw Wentz out on the track today.
Wentz, Tyler's had him. He hasn't run back since the Maryland race. He wasn't happy with how he was training, and he's kind of backed off of him some. And after watching him work this morning, I think Tyler was really happy with that. I know Frankie was. I heard Frankie tell him that he was back, so that's good. Miss Locust Point runs Saturday in the Dashing Beauty at Delaware, which is a match series race. She's running 2 of those now and had a win in the second, so she's doing really well. And not sure yet where we're going to run Diamond King. I'm going to give him a little bit of breather, and probably won't see him again till August.